Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome. Very glad that you're here. It is story time. I have a good little story for you guys. Something that actually happened to me today. So stay tuned, buckle up, don't go anywhere. But before we get into today's video, let me throw this out there. If you are new here, if this is the first time you've ever seen this face, go ahead, please do me a huge favor. Click the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And you know what? If you enjoyed this video at the very end or right now, I don't even care. Give it a thumbs up. Help it get into the algorithm. Help me get a couple of more views, please. Give it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into the video. So, of course, just like any other freaking weekend, Saturday, I should say, I ended up having to work today. I had to work a couple hours. No big deal. By the time I was done doing everything, my family at home has already started to get up and wake up. And, I went in like 4, and by like 8, I was already done. No harm, no foul. Money made. But, I worked a couple of more hours. And so basically, what I'm trying to get at is in my local hometown here, there is a arts and crafts festival here, and it's usually amazing, right? And I'm not gonna say amazing. It's fun. It's something to do. Get you out of the house. Buy you some food and that kind of stuff. It's something to do. It's something fun, and I like going every year. So anyway, like I said, had to work, and basically the plan was by the time I was going to get off, my wife was going to meet me at work, and we were going to go to the Arts and Crafts Festival. And we did. She comes by, picks me up, and boy, oh boy, this place is friggin' packed. I go almost every single year, and I never have a problem. There's usually a lot of people. But for some reason, this year, it was so packed. It was unbelievably packed. You couldn't hardly move, and everybody smelled like fart. You know how it is when everybody gets that real close, and it's oh man. And then you get involved in these people, and you're just like, I can't believe these creatures even exist. And I'm not even trying to be mean, but some people are, dumb. Some people smell. Some people are just huge, both in height and width. So, and there's a bunch of things that are just a kind of an inconvenience, and it's just like, oh, this is really not fun. But whatever. So we're walking down the streets, looking at all the different vendors, and you can only go like -1 mile an hour because, like I said, it's so crowded you can't hardly move. And I'm getting frustrated by this point, right? Because I like, this was the most amount of people I've ever seen. It's like it has blown the record out of the water. There was more people here than there ever has been, and I mean, like, by so much. There was so many more people there than I've ever seen, and it was kind of, it sucked kind of, because it's like it kind of takes the fun out of it. And, if you can't even move, and everything's just crowded, and you're just kind of rushing to get through because you're like stuck, that's not fun, man. It's not fun. But anyway, it's not the festival's fault. People ruin everything, especially when things get overcrowded. It's not that fun. But what I'm trying to get at is, I'm already getting frustrated. I'm basically standing in the direct sunlight. And like I said, I had to work, so I'm in my work attire, and I'm hot. I'm getting grouchy at this point. I'm getting thirsty. The kids are whining. The wife is, she's wanting to stop at every freaking stand, and it's a pain in the butt. But you're just like, you gotta paint a smile on. You're like, yeah, let's stop here. Let's stop here. We'll get, even though we're 2 feet away, we'll get there in 5 minutes. We'll get there. Don't worry. And then you get to it, and then it takes you like another 5 to 10 minutes to actually get inside because people are buying stuff and, spending money like they should, but you still can't even get in, Oh, yeah, I want to try that free sample, but I'll get to you here in about like I said, like 8 minutes. You know, so get it ready for me. I'll be there when everything clears out. But and it's great for business. Obviously, these people made a fortune. I'm assuming a lot of people made a lot of money, so that's good. I'm glad. I'm very glad. A bunch of small businesses came out and had really cool stuff, and I hope they did well. I really do. I hope people came out and spent a bunch of money because I really do appreciate that stuff. But what ended up happening, okay, like I said, I'm leading up to the story. I'm leading up to the good part here. I don't want to just throw it right in the front and ruin the video. But like I said, I'm sweaty, grouchy. I'm not very happy, and I'm just kind of being there for the family. I want the wife to enjoy herself. I want the kids to enjoy themselves. They're not, though. They're miserable. Like I said, they're in the stroller. They want to get out and run away. But, obviously you can't because it's very crowded. I can't let them out because they'll get kidnapped. So, they were in the stroller, which also makes moving through crowds incredibly difficult because most people are not, they're looking at like this level. So they're just like bumping into your kids and shit. And it's very frustrating, but you also kind of can't blame them because, like I said, they're also trying to move. And if you're right now, like they're just kind of like peeking around, they're like, oh, well, here's a gap, and then they go to take a left, and they just bump right into the stroller, and you're like, it's okay, dude, it's fine, we'll all get there eventually, okay, whatever. But so there was this one very nice lady. She was handing out samples of kettle corn. Oh my God, sweet kettle corn. And my oldest son was like, he wanted some, and my wife got a sample and gave it to him, and he loved it, and he kept asking for more. It was a small portion, it's like a Dixie cup full of friggin' kettle corn, like 2 kernels. And of course he wanted more. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't, cool. Let's see. When we get to it, we'll get more. And he just, my oldest, he's very patient. He's very good about being patient and waiting for things. But, he's kind of cute about it too, because we're trying to get to the kettle corn. But he's like, I'd like more kettle corn. Can I have more kettle corn, please? Can I have more popcorn? And you're like, buddy, I promise we're trying to get to it. We're trying to get to it. We're going to get to it, I promise. But, it's taking a long time because it's crowded. And, the whole time I'm hearing that, and it doesn't bother me, but I'm like, I promise we're going to get there. Just chill out. Finally, we get to the kettle corn stand, and there's like 20 people in line. And you're just like, So I kind of look at the wife. I'm like, are we getting in this line, or are we just going to say like, oh, sorry, son, we couldn't get your popcorn because, we didn't want to wait? She's like, no, we'll wait. I'm like, oh, that's not really the answer I was looking for. But I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, cool. So we get in line, and we're so far back. And like I said, they're making new batches left and right. But by the time they make it, it's literally selling. It's selling as they're making it. But, I mean, and it's very impressive. That's how I know they were making good money. So props to them. Good for them. And what ended up happening was the whole point of me making this video is, we're sitting there waiting in line, and people are passing by, and out of nowhere, this dog, right, this brown mutt comes up and gets in my kids' faces, and it wasn't like a simple like sniff. I mean, the dog got up in their face and stayed there for a minute or two, and I'm like I said, I'm already irritated at this point, and my kids, well, my oldest son, he's actually allergic to dogs and cats. So, I start saying, I'm like, hey, get your dog, man, come on. And, of course it wasn't a man. I thought it was a man, but it was actually a woman who looked like a man with, the spiked up hair, And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, he just wanted to. He's just looking for snacks. And she's giggling about it. It's no big deal. I'm like, yeah, no, it is a big deal. Get your mud out of my dog's face. And she has the nerve. She's like, chill, man, chill. I'm like, no, chill. I gotta tell her, if you can't control your dog, leave it at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants your dog all up in their business, especially my kids. If it was me, it'd be one thing. I'd just been like, whatever, ain't no big deal. Get your fucking dog out of my kid's face. Don't let your nasty turd-eating dog lick my kids in the face. Don't do it. I don't appreciate that. Like I said, if your dog is not the type of dog that can sit by you and not bother anybody, you need to leave that dog at home. Okay? I'm just going to be honest. I'm sick, and this is just a personal rant, and this is a personal opinion. But if you have a dog and it can't behave properly, you need to leave it at home. Don't bring it at Walmart. Don't bring it at Tractor Supply. Don't bring it at Kroger. Don't bring it at the festival where there's a bunch of people. Keep the dog at home. Okay? Like I said, if your dog is not going to be able to calmly walk beside of you or in front of you or behind you without bothering other people, you shouldn't bring your animal. Okay? I'm just going to be honest. You shouldn't. I don't feel like that. It's not responsible, but it's also very disrespectful to the people around you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your dog sucks, you need to leave the dog at home, please. Obviously, the dog, it's not like the dog bit my kids, and I might have overreacted a slight bit, but you're going to tell me to chill after I've already asked you to get your dog away from my kids. Because my first, hey, get your dog away from my kids. That should have been enough. You should have been able to pull your dog back and get it away from my kids. But instead, your dog remained there, and we had this back and forth. And then you were able to actually gain control of your dog and get it back. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Okay? Maybe I'm a Karen. Maybe. But maybe your dog sucks. Okay? Because like I said, your dog had no collar. There was no collar other than, there was no rabies tag on it. None of that. It was just the choker collar and a leash. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea. I have no idea about this dog. The dog could have rabies for all I know. The dog could be sick. The dog could have worms. The dog could, like I said. Listen, I've had dogs. I got 2 of them, right? Dogs are not that great, right? I do like dogs, but they also eat poop. They also vomit and eat their own vomit. You know what I'm saying? They're not like super clean creatures. They're kind of disgusting sometimes. And that's just how I picture every dog, right? I picture every dog as this turd-eating son of a gun. And I'm like, I have no interest. I don't want your dog to lick me. I don't want your dog to lick my kids. I'll pet your dog. I don't have no problem. I'll pet your dog. But, anyway, that's the big thing, right? If you can't control your dog needs to stay home. That's the main takeaway. You need to leave your dog at home, okay? All right. That's it. That's my rant. Happy Saturday. I hope you enjoyed your day. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to make more videos, just so you know. I just gotta find the time. I got content that I need to make. I just don't have the time. Right now the house is empty, which is why I'm able to do this. So, anyway, got more content I want to make coming up. So go ahead, click the subscribe button. Get ready for that. And once again, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, please.